What is up, everybody? I just took delivery of my new 2024 Toyota Tundra Limited, fully loaded TRD off-road, 3-inch factory TRD lift kit. I figured, coming from a 2015 second-gen Tundra owner as well, I'd like to give my first impressions of the truck after having it for approximately 2 days, and then we'll do a quick walkthrough of the exterior and interior, kind of show you all the features, gadgets, and goodies. I'm by no means a professional car reviewer or truck walkthrough expert, but I have owned multiple of these trucks now, so I wanted to be a good source of reference for first thoughts and an overall picture of what you can expect if you were to get one of these. So we're gonna start at the front. Massive. This is gonna be taller than your average Tundra because it does have the factory TRD lift kit on it, but this is about the height you can expect. Obviously, a lot has changed on this generation Tundra. Up front, you can see this massive grille to start, just a lot different. This is the grille you get when you add the TRD off-road package on both the SR5, the Limited, and now starting in 2024, you can add it to the Platinum and 1794 as well. I really like the grille. Some people love it, some people don't. Let me know what you think, but I like it. It's big, it's out there, lets the air flow through, keeps the engine cool. I like it. The headlights on this model, this is the maxed out limited model, so you have the premium auto leveling headlights. You don't get these on every trim, and these aren't even standard on the base limited model, but it is an upgrade, and they are pretty sweet so far. I like them. They're bright. They look cool. The running lights look cool during the day. Moving down the side, here's the wheel and tire setup that comes on the Limited Tundra, or any Tundra for that matter. When you go with the TRD off-road package, you get the TRD blacked out 20-inch wheels, and you get these Falcon all-terrain tires. The stock tire size is a 265/60 R20 because they are 20-inch rims, and you can get, if you can get the angle in here, you can see that these big red coilovers. This is the factory TRD lift kit. This is a $4,000 option from the factory that came on this truck, and so far I love it. I love the way it sits. Overall, with this tire setup and these, it does look like the truck missed leg day a bit, so we're going to change that pretty soon and get some new wheels and tires and beef some things up and make it fill out the space a bit more. Continuing to move down the side, obviously everything about the look of this truck is a lot different than the second gen. It's been around for a couple years. You guys know that by now. Mirrors come blacked out when you add the TRD off-road package to the 2024 model. Big difference on the 2024 versus the 2023s, and something that I'm glad I waited for a 2024 for, is that when you do add that TRD package to the SR5 and Limited trims, it deletes all the chrome. I'm not a fan of chrome. I like when everything is either color matched or black accents. So when you do that for the 2024 models, and I'm sure continuing into the future, you get no chrome on these models, adding the TRD off-road package. So that was a huge plus for me in waiting for this model. Continuing to move down the side, you got the same Tundra logo here. Just to show you something quick, an option that I got on these are these stainless steel color matched door edge guards. This is not standard. It's like a $200 option, but all 4 doors have these stainless steel edge guards, so you're protected. Don't door ding people, but walls or shopping cart housing, just, you're protected. Extra protection. Limited here, again, everything's gonna be blacked out when you go with this model. Moving back to the bed, similar to all generations, you still have the TRD off-road decal there when you do go with this. I do really like the backs of the new Tundra, and I love the boxiness of the new model. I'm liking everything about this. You know, if I'm talking first impressions, I love the boxiness of this design versus the more roundedness of the previous design. So on the tailgate here, you got the big Tundra across. These black inserts are, again, an option, or you can order them on Amazon for probably cheaper than I paid for them. New tail lights. One of the cool features on the new Tundras is you got this button on the side for tailgate release. I mean, is it necessary? I don't know. Is it cool? Yeah. I mean, you just walking around, save some time, press the button instead of going all the way to the handle, drop the tailgate. There you go. Big change. And the first of its kind to do it. You got this new composite bed, which I didn't get a bed liner or anything. I just kept it straight, the stock composite bed. I want to test this out and see how it holds up first before adding a bed liner or bed mat or anything of that sort. But I'm excited to see how this holds up throughout some use. I'm not going to be a super heavy user by any means, but I haul some stuff and do some housework, so we'll see how that goes. One more thing to point out, which we'll see on the screen on the inside as well, is the camera setup on this new gen, especially when you get into the premium packages. It's pretty insane. So you got side cameras, right? They're going to be located on the mirrors. You got one here, and you'll have one on the other side mirror. You got the standard rear view camera on the tailgate, and you have the front camera as well, which you might have seen when we were looking at the grill. But right here under the logo is the front camera. And one more camera right up here, looking into the bed, so you can check on what you have hauling in the bed while you're driving. One more big view of the side profile here before we move into the interior, start walking through there. All right, let's warm up. So, door panel, memory seats, standard stuff. Again, this is a fully loaded limited. You can't add any more features to this thing, so keep that in mind when I'm going through these, that not every model is going to have it, but fully loaded limited and above will have everything that I'm kind of going through here, plus potentially more. Over here you have a series of controls. Notable ones to note out would be heated steering wheel, automatic high beams, the ability to turn off the auto start-stop engine, because yes, these new trucks do have that feature. Looking at the seats here, they are Toyota Softex, so they are not actually real leather. I tried both these Softex out, and I sat in and checked out the new leather, and I really don't have a preference either way, so I went with this one. I like it. I like the pattern on it. It looks kind of cool. You have all the adjustments and lumbar support that you normally see on a truck of this level. Steering wheel is something they really beefed up for this gen versus the previous gen, and also something that I really like versus the previous gen. I like a big chunky steering wheel, and they really nailed that here. And I had the heated wheel on this morning, and it heats the whole dang thing up here, even on top. And I really like how it feels. You got kind of this perforated material on the sides. You got kind of like a more cowhidey material up top. It's great. Another notable feature that you get when you go to the TRD off-road package is if you look at the gas and brake pedals down here, they are aluminum versus just your standard plastic cased pedals. So that's kind of a cool feature. It makes it a little sportier, racier in here. I got the all-weather floor mats. It's like a $179 option, not standard on the truck. Let's go sit inside and continue looking at the interior. One of the other main changes on the 2024 of this version versus the 2023 is the gauge cluster up here is fully digital. This was on the Platinums and 1794s in 2023, but not on the Limited, unless you went with the hybrid iForce Max engine. So another reason I'm glad I waited is I do like the fully digital gauge cluster. Obviously that's opinion based, but I'm gonna start it up so you can see kind of what it looks like here when you start it up. Get the cool Tundra logo, and there you go. And you can do a whole bunch of customization on that screen and see a whole variety of vehicle indicators or MPG or distant to empty, whatever you want. So let's deal with the elephant in the room. Obviously these new gen Tundras come with this huge infotainment screen, of which I just realized I haven't peeled the plastic off yet, so I'm going to do that at some point. Again, this truck is about 2 days old. I've already driven 100 miles on the nose though. I'm not gonna go through every piece of tech that this can do. That's not what this video is for, but maybe at some point we can, but it's got a lot. You know, some of my favorite features are the wireless Apple CarPlay. Another great feature is the camera views. So I can switch to that here with this little camera button. It's not gonna show everything while the truck's not moving, but there you can see it provides an aerial view of all around the truck. And there's an auto feature that you can have on to where if you're slowing down to a stoplight or a stop sign, it will switch to this camera view. It'll show you how far you are from the person in front. It'll show your side views and an aerial view. And it's pretty cool to have that technology for both driving and pulling into parking spots, pulling in and out of the garage, because especially with the lift, this thing is pretty massive pulling into my garage. But yeah, just a super cool feature there. Looking at the rest of the dash up here, you have your climate controls all here with these little up-down toggles. You have your heated seats and your cooled seats. This is power and volume for the infotainment system. On this maxed out limited, it does come with the premium JBL speakers, and they are awesome. One thing I will say is that I had JBL on my previous gen Tundra as well, and these ones I think are greatly improved versus those ones, both in sound quality and the way they're positioned. I remember in my old Tundra, it rattled the doors of the vehicle if I had the sound up too loud, but here I've cranked it and it sounds pure. Down here where I had that camera toggle, you also have some other controls for towing, traction control, and your rear axle. You have your automatic parking brake here that you can pull on and off. Wireless charging does come in this model. You have a huge cubby up here, a couple cup holders. The TRD logo is something you get with the TRD package on this model. Here's your drive mode control next to your four-wheel drive control. Obviously the big center console here, you got this compartment that you can slide off for easy access, or you lift the whole thing up. It's big. Previous gen was way bigger, I will say. You could fit a lot more in there, but how much you really need to fit in these things, I don't know. You got little coin pockets, more charging ports, etc., but also wireless charging, so I don't know. Glove box, pretty standard. Another cool feature that I haven't pointed out yet is the digital mirror. So it switches to the camera view out the back instead of just the normal mirror. Super cool. You also have garage door controls on here, and then other settings buttons. Controls up here. One of them would be for the panoramic roof. Door lights, as well as everybody's fan favorite, if you look behind you, the rear window controls. So glad they didn't decide to go away with that. It's kind of an iconic Toyota thing. Hope it's there forever. That's pretty much all I got to show up front. Let's go to the back and look at that quick. So here's the back. This seat is in my comfortable driving position, and you can see the amount of legroom that somebody back here is still going to have. I mean, I'll come and sit up here. Plenty. It's plenty. I don't feel any different than my previous gen had, but at the same time, I didn't really sit in the back in my previous gen that often, nor will I probably in here, but it's plenty. I'm 5'10". Yeah, even if you're taller than me, it's plenty. So again, same seats in the back. You got a 60-40 split. These things fold up into some under-seat storage, some huge compartments actually. So that's kind of nice. Something that the previous gen didn't have. When you folded the seats up, it was just the big floor, but these have these storage cubbies. So I don't know what I'll put in there, some waters or something. We can get a good view now probably of this panoramic roof. We saw the controls up there, and the shade goes all the way up. One thing I noticed is there is a little bit of wind noise when you have the shade open if you're driving on the freeway, but with the shade closed, wind noise pretty much goes away, so okay with me. Last things back here would be more dual cup holders back here. You got a little cubby here. The premium package does come with an outlet back here, as well as an outlet in the bed that I don't think we pointed out. And then some more charging ports here. Again, all-weather floor mats. I haven't pulled this down yet. I wonder what's in here. More cup holders. Cool. Last thing to look at for today, I think, is going to be the engine, and we can talk about that. Pop the hood. Another one of those elephant in the room situations with this new gen Tundra. No V8. What? Twin turbo V6. I'm not going to go through the specs. You can look them up. But so far, obviously it's only been 2 days. I don't miss my V8. Yes, the V8 was a reliable behemoth, had a good amount of power. This has way more power, way more get up and go. I know it's not completely proven yet, but this is the 3rd year now of this new generation with this engine in it. I'm optimistic. I intend on having this truck for a long time. I think it's going to be very reliable. I love the power. It's super quiet, and I think it's going to be a great engine. So time will tell, but no regrets so far on moving to this gen from having a 2nd gen a few years ago. So there's the truck. Overall, my first impressions are, I love it. It's awesome. It was worth the wait. Vast improvement over the previous gen in a lot of areas. I did love the previous gen, and I still do as well. Time will tell how this thing's gonna hold up, but I'm excited to own it. I'm excited to drive it. I'm excited to start putting some modifications on it as I did on my previous gen. Videos to come on that. And I'm excited to keep everybody updated on how this thing performs. That's all for today. If you have any questions for me on this truck or the last truck or comparing the two, drop a comment below, and I'll see you next time.